At my son's wedding, I reached out to fix his crooked collar. It was just a mother's instinct. Suddenly, my daughter-in-law snapped in front of everyone. Sonia, can you give the mommy obsession a rest? Fiona shrieked. I'm the one marrying your son, not you. Stop trying to compete with me for his attention. The ballroom went dead silent before erupting into whispers. I swallowed my rage and forced myself to finish the ceremony. I didn't want to ruin Zion's big day. But during the traditional family toast, Fiona intentionally tipped a cup of scalding hot tea over my hand. That's a little lesson for you, she whispered, leaning in so only I could hear. Don't you ever try to seduce my husband again. I looked at Zion, my own son, hoping he would say something. Instead, he just looked at the floor. I let out a cold laugh. Fin. Since you're both so determined to be a team, you can have each other. I'm done playing mom. The sharp sting in my arm brought a sudden, icy clarity to my mind. What was the point of having a son and a daughter-in-law like this? I had my savings. I had my pension. I could live a perfectly good life without them. Why was I letting them treat me like garbage? Friends and family started gathering around us. Some were genuinely outraged on my behalf. Fiona, how can you treat your mother-in-law like that? One of my cousins asked. Sonia raised Zion all by herself. She paid for this entire wedding. Do you have any idea how hard she worked? Fiona's face turned a nasty shade of red. She worked hard so she could treat her son like her own man, she spat. If I don't teach her a lesson now, imagine how she'll act once we're living together. I was stunned. I had simply noticed his collar was messy. It was an important day, and I wanted him to look his best. In her twisted mind, that was a mommy complex. When your heart is filthy, you see filth in everything. My friends tried to defend me. Fiona, you've got it all wrong. Sonia isn't that kind of person. Exactly. I've known her for 20 years. She's the most decent woman I know. Fiona wasn't backing down. It's all an act. Don't let her fool you, she yelled. I've seen her myself. I saw her lying in her son's bed without a stitch of clothing on. The room went quiet. People started exchanging looks. My heart turned to ice. How could she lie like that just to win an argument? I looked at Zion again. I waited for him to speak, to defend my honor. 1 second passed. Then 10. He stayed silent, hiding behind Fiona like a coward. The shift in the room was instant. The people who were defending me a moment ago started to doubt. Her own son isn't saying a word. Could Fiona be telling the truth? Someone whispered. Maybe we shouldn't get involved in family business. Fiona looked at me with a triumphant smirk. She thought she had won. I looked at her, then at my silent son. Then I smiled. Since it's like this, I don't want either of you in my life anymore. I pulled out the keys to the luxury condo and the new SUV I bought for them. I also pulled out the bank book for their savings account. I was going to give you these. Now I see there's no point. I turned to walk away. Zion, who hadn't said a word to defend me, suddenly found his voice to stop me. Mom, what are you doing? Today is my wedding day. If you leave now, what happens to the reception? I stared at him, incredulous. I had raised him for over 20 years, and all he cared about was whether the party would be ruined. I shoved his hand away. You're the ones who ruined it. Zion's face went pale. Mom, why are you being so petty? It's the biggest day of my life. Can't you just suck it up and move on? Petty. I looked at him and realized I didn't know this man at all. Where was the little boy who used to cry when I scraped my knee? The person standing in front of me was a total stranger. I locked eyes with him. You're right. I'm incredibly petty. I walked out of the ballroom without looking back. Behind me, the room erupted into chaos. I hadn't even reached my car before my phone started blowing up. Zion was blowing up my texts. He called me heartless for walking out. He said the ruined wedding was entirely my fault. I didn't reply. When I got home, I tucked the condo keys, car keys, and the bank book safely into my drawer. These were supposed to be my wedding gifts to them. Now I was keeping them for myself. That night, a friend called me. Sonia, get on TikTok right now. Your daughter-in-law is live streaming about you. I opened the app. There she was. The title of the stream read, Evil Mother-in-Law Ruins My Wedding. I Need Justice. Fiona was sitting on a hotel bed. Her eyes were red and swollen. She looked like a victim. Girls, I honestly can't take it anymore, she sobbed to the camera. It was my wedding day, and my mother-in-law threw a tantrum in front of everyone and walked out. The comments were flying by. Everyone was siding with her. What a nightmare. She sounds like a total psycho. Run, girl. You're going to suffer in that family. Expose the old hag. Fiona wiped her tears and kept spinning her web of lies. You don't understand. She's obsessed with her son. She tries to bring him towels when he's in the shower. She walks into our bedroom at midnight without knocking. I'm losing my mind. My hands were